Unit 16, zero and first conditional. Conditional sentences tell us about a possible situation and a result. They use two clauses, the conditional clause and the result clause. The conditional clause usually begins with if or unless. The conditional clause or the result clause can come first without changing the meaning. It doesn't matter which one comes first.
Pues eso, las frases condicionales tienen una parte de la frase, una parte de la oración que es la condición, la circunstancia bajo la cual ocurre el resultado, que es la otra parte de la frase. Entonces tenemos una condición, ¿no? Una circunstancia, un contexto y un resultado. Y da igual cómo comienzas la frase, si es por la condición o por el resultado. Puedes decir, si pasa esto, pasa lo siguiente, si pasa eso, esto. No sé. Vamos a ver unos ejemplos.
Zero conditional. The zero conditional uses the present simple in the conditional clause and in the result clause. So the structure is if plus present tense plus present tense. If plants have enough light, they grow well. If plants don't have enough light, they don't grow well.
Los condicionales tipo 0 son aquellas frases que nos dicen qué suele ocurrir bajo una circunstancia, ¿no? ¿Qué es lo que suele o siempre ocurre en esa condición, bajo esa condición?
We put a comma when the if clause comes first.
Ah, sí, eso sí. Si os fijáis, veréis que hay una coma siempre que empecemos la frase por la condición, por la parte de la frase que lleva if. Normalmente.
We can also put the if clause at the end of a sentence. Plants grow well if they have enough light. There's no comma in this sentence. We use the zero conditional to talk about things that are true or things that always happen. If you give plants enough food and water, they grow well. That's always true, or that's usually true. As is the contrary. If you don't give plants enough food and water, they don't grow well. If usually means the same as when in the zero conditional. Plants grow well when you give them enough food and water. It's the same as saying plants grow well if you give them enough food and water.
Okay, so let's have a look at some zero conditional sentences then.
Exercise 1. Complete the zero conditional sentences with the correct form of the verbs. Number 1. Everyone feels sleepy if the weather is too hot. Number 2. If my brother earns any money, he always spends it on clothes. Number 3. Students get stressed if their teacher gives them too many tests. Number 4. If I don't like a film, I don't watch it to the end. Number 5. If I do well in my school exams, my parents usually give me extra pocket money. Number 6. It's difficult to remember facts if you don't enjoy studying that subject.
Okay, so let's move on then to the first conditional. What is the first conditional? Los condicionales tipo 1. Vamos a ver la explicación.
First conditional. The first conditional uses the present simple in the conditional clause and the will future in the result clause, or sometimes known as the future simple. So the structure is if plus present tense plus will or won't. If we share a taxi, we'll save money.
So now in these sentences, I'm not talking about what is always or usually true. I'm talking about a real situation, something that will happen if we, in this case, do the thing that I'm talking about. If this condition happens, this is what will be the result now or in the near future. So, claro, si compartimos un taxi, ahorraremos dinero. We're talking about what is going to happen now. I think we should share a taxi now because that way we will save money. Okay? This is a real situation.
If we take a taxi, we won't get wet. If we don't take a taxi, we will get wet. We'll get wet. And once again, remember, we use a comma if the if clause comes first. But remember, we can also put the if clause at the end of the sentence without a comma. We'll save money if we share a taxi, no comma. We use the first conditional to talk about possible or probable future events. If this cafe closes, we'll lose our jobs. We'll lose our jobs if this cafe closes. We won't lose our jobs if this cafe doesn't close. If does not mean the same as when in first conditional sentences. So, for example, if this cafe closes, we'll lose our jobs. The speaker believes it is possible that the cafe will close, but is not sure. However, if I say, when this cafe closes, we'll lose our jobs, the speaker knows that the cafe is going to close. So, the cafe is definitely going to close, and we are definitely going to lose our jobs when that happens.
Okay, so this seems obvious that there is a clear difference in meaning between if and when. Obviously, if we're talking about the future, if sounds like something that might happen, and when is talking about something that is going to happen. It's just a question of time. La diferencia entre sí y cuando estamos hablando del futuro. Si cierra la cafetería, perderemos nuestro trabajo. Cuando cierre, perderemos nuestros trabajos. Pues obviamente tienen una diferencia, hay una diferencia de significado ahí bastante importante. Ya está, vamos a ver unos ejercicios, unas frases del first conditional. Lo que pasa es que hay un pequeño problema aquí, que lo hice un poco mal. Entonces, no vais a saber qué tenéis que meter en los huecos. Entonces, aquí tenéis una serie de frases en condicional tipo 1. Disfrutad.
Exercise 2. Choose the correct form of the verbs. Number 1. If I don't go to bed right now, I won't be able to get up in the morning. Number 2. I'll buy some ice cream later if the cafe is still open. Number 3. You'll pass your driving test if you don't forget to wear your lucky ring. Number 4. We'll phone my dad after the party if we need a lift home. Number 5. If anyone finds out where my brother is today, he'll be in big trouble when he comes home. Number 6. You won't feel cold if you put this sweater on. Unless. Unless means if not. Plants don't grow unless they have light. It's the same as saying plants don't grow if they don't have light. I'll stay at home unless it stops raining. If it doesn't stop raining, I'll stay at home. Unless I'm invited to the party, I won't go to the party. If I'm not invited to the party, I'm not going to go.
Unless, básicamente es el equivalente de a no ser que en castellano. So, unless is the same as if not. Igual que a no ser que es muy parecido a si no. ¿No? So, let's have a look at the final exercise, exercise 3, with unless. Exercise 3.
Rewrite the sentences using unless. Number 1. I can't get up in the morning if I don't have enough sleep. I can't get up in the morning unless I have enough sleep. Number 2. We'll all have dinner together if my mum doesn't get home too late. We'll all have dinner together unless my mum gets home too late. Number 3. My parents will go mad if we don't clean up this mess. My parents will go mad unless we clean up this mess. Number 4. If we don't find a taxi soon, we'll miss the train. Unless we find a taxi soon, we'll miss the train.